guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another horror review. This time we're off to the other side of the planet, to Australia, to review an Australian horror film called Talk to Me, which has been out a few years now, and I've seen it once. I saw it on Netflix a long time ago and I thought it was okay. And I wanted to revisit it because I thought I need to give this film a second opportunity, and I managed to pick it up on Blu-ray. So tonight we're going to review it. So before we get it, let's have a look at the release. So this is the physical release of the Australian horror film Talk to Me. So we'll have a little look. As you see, I've got it from HMV for $9.99, reduced from $18.99. This also has a release on Second Sight, but that's also about $17 or $18.99 on Blu-ray, £25 on 4K. So I thought, well, I'm not foolish. I'm not going to spend £18 when I can spend 10. So I've managed to pick this up on Blu-ray. It wasn't one of my favourite films, but I quite enjoyed it, the premise of the story. But we'll get into that when we actually get around to reviewing it. As you can see, it's a basic standard release here on Blu-ray, but that's okay. So that is the physical release that I own of Talk to Me. It's a bog standard one, but like I said, there is a Second Sight edition out, which has a Second Sight and a Second Sight collector's edition and a 4K, I believe, on Second Sight. But that was pricey compared to the one that I bought. So I thought, it's not a film I particularly was like, oh yeah, must get that sort of thing. And I thought, well, for that price, I'll pick it up. And so I did. So let's see if there's any special features on the disc. So this is your main menu to Talk to Me. It's got play, it's got screen selection, setup and special features. We have director commentary, behind the scenes Talk to Me, behind the scenes no spoilers. We have deleted scenes. We have Auntie Lee variation, Riley across schoolyard, Sue bedroom variation, Mia and Max argument, Jade and Sue. I don't know any of these people yet. Mrs. Fork at the room. We have cast interviews. We have Mia, played Sophie Wilde. We had Sue, played by Miranda Otto. Riley, played by Joe Bird. Daniel, played by Otis Darnji. Josh, played by Chris Alosio. Haley, played by Zoe Tirax. And we have crew interviews. Raka Raka Brothers. Okay. Samantha Jennings, the producer. Aaron McCleasy, the director of photography. Bethany Ryan, which is the production designer, and Emma Bortington, who was supervising the editor. So I think that the Raka Raka brothers must be the directors. So that is the special features that are on this version of Talk to Me. So it does have quite a few little special features on there, which is quite surprising for this release. But it's still really cool, great to have some sort of interviews and some commentaries and stuff. That's pretty cool. So let's get on to the story. So this is an Australian horror film based in modern times. It's filmed in 2020, and it starts off with this party, a house party, and there's obnoxious people in there. And we meet a young lad going to see his brother who's locked himself in the bedroom at this party. And when he unlocks it, he sees his brother's got all these marks all over him, scars and cuts. Anyway, so he tries to escort him out and take him away to the hospital, and his brother stabs him and then kills himself. And then the film starts, and we meet our main characters of the film. We meet Mia, who's played by Sophie Wilde, and a young lad called Riley, played by Joe Bird. And these are our main kind of two characters of the film. And Mia's a friend of Riley's sister. She's become like an adopted friend of the family because her mother died, and we get to a bit of character building in this part of the film for about the first sort of 10-15 minutes. We get character building, and we sort of see them sort of getting along with Riley's mum and all this kind of cool stuff. It's really quite nice. And then we meet her friends, and their friends are horrible. Especially there's one. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but I can't even remember the character's name. But it looks like a tomboy almost, but I'm sure it's a boy. And they're at this party at this house, and they've got this kind of statue of a hand, of like a handshake. And this hand supposedly has an ability to connect you with people that have died, like spirits. You have to hold the hand and say, "Talk to me," and then the spirit appears. And then you have to say, "I let you in," and then you sort of like for about 3 minutes they sort of like become possessed almost by this spirit from the spirit world. Anyway, it's all like a party game almost, and Mia does it, and she sort of sees this old sort of man and stuff like this, and when she comes out of it, she says, "Oh, it was awesome." And then all the others try it too, apart from obviously Riley because he's so young. But Daniel tries it. Daniel's played by Otis Dahange, I believe, and he's the boyfriend of Mia's friend. He tries it, and he goes a bit haywire, and they all try to do this thing, and they're all filming it for like YouTube and TikTok and all this kind of jibber jabber nonsense. And the young lad that goes to the party with him, Riley, he wants to try it. Riley's sister doesn't want him to do it. I can't remember her name. I'm not sure if it's Mia. I want to say Mia, and if it is, she's played by Sophie Wilde, and she doesn't want him to do it. But they convince her, and she leaves the room because she doesn't want to see it. He does it. And I'm not going to tell you what happens. you kind of need to sort of watch that and sort of find out what's going on, because that's when the story takes a turn. And then it turns into a really good horror film. It's kind of along the lines, if you think of things like It Follows and stuff like that. It's got that sort of vibe about it, except this is an Australian film. Let's have a look at the characters. The characters, most of them are fucking horrible. I don't like any of them, and I don't really care. The only one I actually quite like is Riley, the young lad. Mia is kind of like, if she's your friend, you don't need any enemies, and all this kind of stuff. The only character I really like in the film is Riley. Oh, and there's a dog called Cookie. And that's the only two characters in the film I like. The rest of them I didn't like. So they must have been pretty good at playing their role, because I didn't like any of them. So let's get to my final verdict. So on second viewing, I thought it was incredible. I absolutely loved it. On first viewing, I kind of like, meh, it's not for me, don't like it. And that was solely because I hated all the characters. But then I realised that you're supposed to. And then I really got into the film and I loved it. And I'm going to score it an amazing watch and give it a 9 out of 10. Let down only by the ending. I didn't like the ending of the film as such. It's a little bit cop-out ending. But it's, apart from that, it was solid film. Another great entry to the Australian. I must do a top 10 Australian film sometime, and I'm sure this will be in it. I don't know how high it will be, but it will definitely be in it. It was really good. Really enjoyed it. The pluses of the Blu-ray edition, it looks wonderful. So the second sight 4K is going to look stunning. But this looked wonderful on Blu-ray. The acting is good because I don't like any of the characters, and I think that was the purpose of it, that you're not supposed to have any attachment to them. And and I didn't like. I particularly didn't like Mia. I didn't like her character. She was so self-involved, and it's all about her and all this sort of thing. And I know she's lost her mum, but she was like, oh, and all this, and she doesn't connect with her dad or anybody, and stuff like this. But I think that was the way it was supposed to be, and well acted that way. There is some disturbing scenes of violence in the film. Not too bad, but most of it poorly self-inflicted on Riley. So it's quite a disturbing little watch, but it's a great film. I do recommend you've seen it if you haven't. So talk to me. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. If you guys seen it, let me know down below what you think of it. There is another film that came out this year by the same creators, Bring Her Back, which I have got on pre-order, which I will review when I get it. It's a 2025 film. This is 2022. So yeah, but it's really cool. Really recommend it. Guys, check out some horror channels. Check out Horror Hands, Horror Geek, Man v Film, RS Design, Pitterwell, I'm Ice Lord, Cat Watches, Horror Movies, Grumpy Andrews, Horror House, and The Maniac. And a massive shout out to my lad. Till next time, look after yourselves, look after one another, and I really hope I see you all soon.